Today on the Tearsheet Podcast.
Really, technologists don't own technology anymore. It's really the market and the consumer that drives that, and that's really worked its way into everything that we do. And so when we think about how we go from our current 7 million clients to the 42 million more that we seek to serve, it's really about taking this digital strategy and investing in not only the firm capabilities, but in the capabilities that create a great branch experience that also then can in turn create a great client experience.
Welcome to the Tearsheet Podcast. I'm Zack Miller. Online trading platform Robinhood just raised more money at a valuation over $11 billion. Traditional brokerage firms are keenly aware of what's going on, and they're also undergoing their own dance with digital. Frank LaQuinta, CIO at Jones, joins me on the podcast to discuss how the brokerage firm is positioning itself to provide more modern experiences in the branch and over digital for its 7 million clients as well as for its financial advisors. Frank has a 30-year career at bulge-bracket firms, so he's seen up close the impact technology is having on financial services. Frank LaQuinta is my guest today on the Tearsheet Podcast. What could you do with better real-time consumer data? All data aggregation from Fiserv enables access to consumer permission data from over 18,000 sources. Lenders, advisors, fintech firms, and financial institutions can turn this data into actionable insight for their customers. Go to fiserv.com/alldata to learn more.
I'm Frank LaQuinta. I'm the CIO at Edward Jones. I'm responsible for the technology vision and strategy, and also leading all of our efforts end to end on simplifying and modernizing our technology estate and creating a high quality, best in class digital client experience for our branch teams as well as our clients.
Amazing. And can you tell us a little bit about your background, like how you got here? What was your career path?
Sure. I've been doing this for over 30 years, primarily Wall Street type firms, bulge bracket firms, but have always been in either the wealth and or capital market space. Also created a startup company. It's called Ideal back in the day, but ultimately became a firm called iPrio that was focused on new issue capabilities, investor relation capabilities and the like there. And that really was a lot of the drive around creating great client experiences, because when you create products in the marketplace, clients need to like them and want to use them and buy them. And so that client experience is something that's as part of my DNA, but always been in financial services one way or the other. Love the challenge, love that the business and the industry always changes. And the wealth space is probably the most exciting because it's about people, and it's about taking that human-centered approach towards helping people solve the problems and delivering great capabilities that will aid in that.
So can we talk about that, particularly in the wealth space? So, where do we come from and where are we headed in terms of client experience, given your 30-year span of what you've seen?
Well, we're in an experience-based economy, full stop. And if you think about how folks have blended their personal and professional lives, every day you're using different types of tools, and it doesn't matter the demographic, the age group, and the like there. It's about efficiency, it's about productivity, it's about that experience. And and really, technologists don't own technology anymore. It's really the market and the consumer that drives that, and that's really worked its way into everything that we do. And so when we think about how we go from our current 7 million clients to the 42 million more that we seek to serve, it's really about taking this digital strategy and investing in not only the firm capabilities, but in the capabilities that create a great branch experience that also then can in turn create a great client experience, because this whole innovation, this whole digital play is really done in collaboration with the clients themselves, and they are essentially driving that innovation.
So that's really interesting. So can you talk to us, I guess, how you think about the innovation, the digitization that you guys are working on across the different channels, because you do have to manage the branch model. So like, how do you guys think about omnichannel or delivery?
So the way they're approaching this is that we're going to modernize our entire technology estate through a combination of our business segments. So as our business segments emerge in terms of the types of clients that we want to serve in terms of long-term serious investors, our firm strategic programs. So we're remaking a lot of the capabilities that we have today, both building and buying, so that we can modernize and simplify everything that we do. And then overall, we have our own IS strategic roadmap, because we've got to move to the cloud, and we've got to move from waterfall to agile, and we've got to get into a test and learn minimal viable product mindset that allows us to get products out there to learn, grow, and also help that experience with those clients, with the branch teams right off the bat, so they can help co-create some of this technology with us. So our approach is really to try to take a look at how we rebuild front to back, and that's really, really key. The retooling of our systems so that they provide greater flexibility, simplicity, and the optionality of both building and buying, so that we can deliver great capabilities to our clients and our branch teams, and fully support our home office in supporting the branches and the clients.
So, I mean, it's really like trying to fix an airplane that's flying. You have 7 million customers. Like, can you give, I guess, more concrete examples of some of the projects that you're working on as part of that evolution?
Sure. So several in play right now. We just rolled out our new online access system, modern look, modern feel, built from the ground up, digital first mindset. All of the services that we built are being reused throughout the organization. So when I talk about front to back, it's every tool that we're developing. We're rebuilding the infrastructure and rebuilding the capabilities in the cloud first, mobile first mindset. But we're also building these tools to enable the branch and client experience, and allow our branch teams to grow, serve, and lead in that space. We've got an application starting point, which is a digital questionnaire that allows the prospect to provide basic information, and then deliver some personalized results back. So right away, the financial advisor can understand about the client and really have a comprehensive conversation. Along those lines, also, we've got Edward Jones Match, which is essentially a digital platform that recommends a financial advisor to a prospect based upon the fit and their personal situation and what the expertise of a financial advisor is. And then things like My Priority. So when I go back to that human-centeredness of who our clients are, what our financial advisors do best in terms of building that relationship and building that trust, is we want to know about what matters most to our clients and our prospects. And this My Priorities application is sort of this online quiz that they can start a conversation with the prospect or the client on what's most important to them. And by doing that first initial conversation, the client feels understood, they feel in control, they feel like that there's a secure relationship that's being built. And really just sort of changes the dynamic of that first meeting, and also strengthens the relationship throughout the process.
And now, a word from our sponsor. At Tearsheet's Day-to-Day Conference, Fiserv's Paul Diegelman drilled down into the future of personal financial management. Paul, you're talking about PFM 2.0.
It's actually two separate and distinct applications. Liquidity is a huge problem right now. People just don't have time to do things twice. Basically, most parts of the country shut down for COVID. Our PFM user growth was over 20% in the first 2 weeks alone. Underrated, 100%. How could we use AI to impact PFM? I'm up for anything that helps people. And to help people, you need an economic model.
To access the full video from Paul's talk, go to tearsheet.co/speedoflife. So as part of this process, do you guys see the role of, I guess is either or, the financial advisor himself or herself and the financial advisory firm evolving over time?
Everything's going to evolve, but what stays the same is the strength of the relationship and trust. I mean, just think about what's going on today, right? So in this environment, you've got social unrest, you've got or the situation with COVID, you've got displacement, you've got folks who need that help more than ever. And what's interesting about this time is that all of these tools that we're using to connect with folks are digital platforms, web conferencing, webinars. How you do the outreach, just because of the situation that we're in, requires technology, requires that digital platform. And so the business and the tools that we use continue to evolve. But that relationship that's required to earn the trust and then build that trust across the moments that matter for those clients and those prospects is key. So I think that's the durable piece, is the relationship and the needs that the clients have, and then how we can use technology to serve those needs. I mean, just think about the arc of somebody's life when they're just graduating college, and they're thinking about sort of what their future looks like in terms of a place to live and investments, and do they want to get married, and then fast forward 5-10 years, and it's a house, it's children, and saving for 529. So that whole continuum continues to change, continues to evolve, and technology runs right alongside that to help build that trust along with the financial advisor, and helps augment the relationship that a financial advisor has. And one of the great things about Edward Jones is sort of the human-centered complete wealth management approach that we take, is it really is about understanding deeply what the needs of the client are, and then delivering capabilities to help augment that relationship. But it really is about that trust between the financial advisor at Jones and the client.
I like that human-centered framework that you're describing. As you're evolving the company and rolling out more digital products, digitization, I guess, has there been an ongoing component of sort of retooling or reskilling, upskilling the advisors themselves as well to get them on board?
I think that's been a continuum throughout. So I think that there are many different approaches that we take. Some folks are clamoring for these capabilities and push us. Others are, when they see the value of it, and that's really what it comes down to. When they see the value of it, when they can do something on their phone where before they would have to be in the office or connect back to somebody in the office, that really is the value. So it comes in experience, right? So experience always trumps the argument. It's like, oh, I don't want to use that. But then you have the experience where, wow, this is magic. I'm able to do this, and I'm able to get that done immediately. And as soon as you have that, you have a convert, and then those folks want more. So we love that. We love to get people excited about the technology. And we also want that co-creation and that collaboration aspect of the advisors coming to us and say, I wish I could do this. This would make a great experience for me. This would create a greater productivity for my office. And this would lead to a great client experience because I can spend more quality time with our clients. So that education piece is in some ways, they're pushing us, and in other ways that we're helping create a great experience for them.
Got it. And what are you guys doing in terms of held away assets? Like how are you encouraging your clients to consolidate more of their assets, with Edward Jones?
Well, we have the outside account aggregation view to that. And I'll just say how the financial advisor addresses that. They're looking at the holistic client experience. So if a client has got money in different places, you want to be able to understand that, so that you can basically give them a broad view to that, and then also, to be quite honest, to be able to say, we think we can provide better value for you.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
So I guess what I was referring to was, I know the scenario of a high net worth client, having an account with an advisor, and also having maybe a trading account and some assets held away, maybe at a purely digital brokerage without the human component. Is there a process of ongoing encouragement or conversion of those assets held away, like trying to bring those under one roof?
Yeah, I mean, look, at every conversation that we have, that a financial advisor has, they're exploring every aspect of a client's needs. And, if you think about what's going on right now, sort of protection, life insurance, just things like that are conversations that always should be going on, but are just so much more important now, just given the situation that we're in. And even if clients are, they have robo outside of Edward Jones, I mean, the bottom line is, I think folks want technology to complement, but not replace that human financial advisor. And that's why I go back to that human-centered complete wealth management. Is that when it comes, it's okay if you want to day trade, right? But the bottom line is when there's a moment that matters, you want to talk to somebody. And even in the example of, you've got Robinhood out in the marketplace, now they're hiring financial advisors because you cannot build the bridge for life's journey without having a partner in lockstep along the way. And that's really the huge value that Edward Jones provides is that, we're there, we have a plan, we have a process to focus on their goals. We provide goals-based advice, and then we keep them on track throughout the entire arc of their lives. And that's just so important. And again, I go back to that trust and that relationship. And technology is great, and we're going to provide great technology to support that, but nothing replaces that human financial advisor, that human centeredness, that strategic advantage that our firm provides our clients.
That makes a lot of sense. You mentioned, Frank, earlier in our conversation, sort of the build-buy decisions that you make, you and on your team. Can you give us an example, I guess, where you would choose to build something versus an example where you would partner out, per se?
Yeah, so the way that we think about the whole build-buy decision is really around competitive advantage. And so if we want to be a standard setter, likely we'll build something. But in other cases, we may buy it because it's just something that we don't want to focus on. And just as an example, we have just rolled out O365 to the entire firm. We've got folks collaborating differently than they ever have in the past, fully integrated capabilities, both in the office and on their mobile devices, access to information anytime, any place, anywhere. That's something that, we outsourced all of that to Microsoft, but that provides a huge strategic advantage because folks have access to information when they need it, wherever they need it. So we look at it from if something competitive advantage, we want to be a standard setter. We may build, we may determine what we want to do, maybe to buy and integrate. Then there's also what I'll say parity. It's, you got to have this is table stakes. And the question is, do we want to invest in that by building it? Or is that something that we think that we may want to own a portion of this and then have optionality in terms of creating a level of abstraction so they can switch something in and out. And then I'd say outsource is something that is just as an example, we have outsourced our mainframe to a strategic partner, and that is as a result of we're moving to the cloud. We're doing things differently. We've got a different approach to our technology, different approach to our infrastructure, but the mainframe is something that powers a lot of the capabilities that we have today. And if you take a look at demographics and sort of that industry in general, that's something that we do not want to keep investing in. So we outsource that, but that is also very, very, very strategic to us. So it really comes down to the three choices for us, standard setter, parity, or outsource. But how we approach those can be mixing and matching and providing true competitive advantage no matter the route that we choose. But we're very thoughtful about what we do, and very much measure twice and cut once, and really seeing the benefit of that.
Have you partnered with fintechs? Are there public examples that you could cite?
So we were involved with 630 here in St. Louis for a bit, and I think we provided great value to them. We're starting to take a look at the fintech space right now. I think that for a firm like Jones, because we have such scale, taking a look at a 3-person shop is not really what we're about. Yeah, but with our scale though, and how quickly we want to move and sort of get into this minimal viable product test and learn mindset, those options are going to be increasingly looked at, discovered, and see how we can best use some of the capabilities that are emerging. So we have our eye towards it. I think you'll see an increase in activity towards that, but to date, it's been minimal. It's been point solutions, if you will.
So I want to ask we have time for one last question. Go to the build decision. How do you look at talent on the technology and product team? Like how has that evolved as you embrace more and more digital, more and more cloud? Are there skills that you had to go into the market to acquire? Is there an ongoing like growth process internally? Can you just talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I view, so this is all around change, right? So you've done one thing one way and been wildly successful for so long. And so the way I think about change and innovation and moving forward is really across three principles: leadership, learning, and communication. It takes a strong leader to basically say we're going to change, especially to change in with a firm that has been successful to date with the way that we've done things, both from a business perspective and a technology perspective. So that leadership aspect is key. Learning, absolutely offer every option possible for our folks to come up to speed on the new technology. They have such an when somebody comes to Jones, we want them to build their career. We want to advance their career. We want them to continue to learn and advance. So those options are always there for folks. And then communicating the why. The communication piece is, why are we changing? Why are we doing things differently? It's about competitive advantage. And with all of that, we're still moving so fast that we've got to partner with strategic partners to help us get in the game and have multiple irons in the fire. So that whole notion of leadership, learning, and communication, but also partnering with some strategic partners that will grow with us and be part of the Jones family is really, really important to the success of this firm going forward.
Frank, thanks for joining us on the Tearsheet Podcast today.
I appreciate it. Thank you.